So, it all started. It was midsummer. Moved from the state I originally grew up in to a completely different state. To my grandma's house. Set me up a little space in the laundry room because there's not a lot of bedrooms. One day, my mom is waiting for a package from Fedex. And she noticed is on Facebook page for the surrounding area that we live in, that they found a FedEx driver in a ditch asking for help to get him out. And she's just like, well, now I know why my package is late. I'm in the kitchen in my jammies cutting up raw chicken because me and my grandma were making homemade chicken nuggets. And while I'm doing this, my grandma goes outside to, I don't know, get the packages or something. I don't remember. And I hear the guy's voice. It's just like, and I look over to her late husband and my mom, and I was just like, he sounds attractive, you know? And then I noticed the window was open, and then he comes in with 3 giant boxes of Tupperware with my grandma, and they're talking, and I'm like, in my head, I was like, oh, he probably heard me. But he was very handsome, and I was just like, there's no way this is our FedEx driver. Because most delivery drivers, they just leave it on the porch and take a photo and book it, you know? This guy actually took time out of his day to carry in 3 giant boxes so my grandma didn't have to. Or my mom had to. He comes in and I'm just like shocked. Like, I was just like, okay. And all of us are just talking, and he just said, oh yeah, I just moved here, I'm still getting used to the area. And I was just like, oh my god, that's so funny, I literally just moved here too. And he leaves, right, not really thinking anything of it. And then we can continue to see him every now and then because he's delivering Tupperware, because my mom is a Tupperware lady. And I start seeing his sense of humor and how he talks, and I'm just like, I think I like this guy. And he's just really funny. And so on my days off, I would just sit on the porch hoping he'd come back. And it took a while, and we started getting less packages. So one day I woke up and realized he was outside. And I was like, I gotta do this now. Like, I can't dilly-dally, go put deodorant on and go brush my teeth like I usually do. Because when I did that, he ended up leaving by that time. So, keep in mind, I would not recommend talking to a guy with unbrushed teeth and no deodorant. But it was just like, I felt in my gut, I'm like, I gotta do this now. You know what I mean? He comes inside. Oh, I forgot to say, he's great with my dog. My dog just accepted a treat from him one day, and I'm just like, that's unusual. Even my grandma was like, that's odd, you know? But he ends up stopping by. This is like, I don't even remember. This was early. And I'm still in my pajamas. I was like in sweatpants and a baggy shirt, with my hair up. I answer the door and I'm like, hi. And I say his name. And he's like, hi. He comes inside. He has pretty litter because my grandma kept forgetting to cancel the subscription. And he comes inside. He's like, where would you like it? I was like, oh, just put it on the counter. And he turns around and he looks at me And keep in mind, this is a tall dude. And it was like a dog treat. And he's just like, your dog is not going to resist this. Or like, yeah, he's not going to resist this, because it's bacon. And I was like, okay. And he kind of knows his stuff because back home he had 2 dogs, like big dogs, I mean, my dog, he's little, like you've seen him. I was like, okay, I'll give it to him. And then he's just about to leave. He's like out in the door frame, back on the porch. And I'm like, hey, weird question. He's like, okay, just a warning. I just woke up, so I look like shit. And he just laughs. He's like, okay. And I was just like, are you single? And he's like, well, yes, I am. And I was just like, well, I'm interesting. I'm interesting. I'm interested. And I find you very charming. And he's like, well, I find you cute. And I was just like, what? Like, I said that in my head. And he's just like, hold on, I just got a new phone. Let me go to the truck and get my number for you. I got to go into the settings and all this stuff, right? So I was like, okay. He goes into his truck. He's in there for a while, like a good while. I was like, I get my glasses, and I come back, and then he's at the porch, and he's like, and he hands me this paper. It was just like a random paper in his truck, and he's like, "Here's my number," and I was like, "All right, I will definitely text you or call you." I don't remember exactly what I said. So I wait a bit, right? Because I don't believe in that whole, like, oh, wait to text type thing. No, if you're interested, let them know. You know what I mean? Don't dilly-daddle. Diddle. Dilly-daddle. Or, is that the saying? Don't waste no time, basically. And I do some cleaning. Because I had stuff to do, right? Because I didn't want to seem too eager. I mean, I was, but at the same time, it's just like, I want him to know I'm interested, but I don't want him to know I'm crazy just yet. um, so then after I did a few things, I ended up texting him. I'm like, hey, this is Shayla because I don't remember if I ever gave him my name. And then I just said the street I'm on. So he's like, oh, okay. But since he's a delivery driver, he's really busy. So I didn't get a text until later that night. Not too late. It was more of like evening. He texted me. He's like, hey, sorry for the late response. And then we just started texting and we got to know each other. And I found out he was a jack of all trades. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, he's handsome, he's manly, and he knows how to fix shit. I was like, wow. And somehow we ended up talking about kids, right? I know, very soon. But I'm the type of person that's just like, I want to be on the same page. You know what I mean? I asked him, I was like, do you like kids? Blah, blah, blah. Or he asked me, I don't remember. Basically, he was just like, I want a big family. And I was like, okay, well, I love kids, so I'm very easy to convince. So he's like, all right. I told him what I want long term and that I'm 25 now. I'm not messing around. I want something serious. Like, I want to be a wife someday. I want to take care of my husband, like cook him, cook him. Yeah, I'm gonna cook him in the oven. No, I want to cook him dinner. I want to cook him lunch, breakfast, all of that, and I want to make him like lunches when he goes to work. That's what I want, And I want to be a stay-at-home wife, like take care of the kids, all that stuff. That's what I want. And he's like, that's perfectly fine. And I'm just like, this man is perfect for me. And I was just like, you know, and we continue to talk. First time we hang out, we became official because I was just like, straight up was like, or he was, I don't know. We were like, you're stuck with me, like he was telling me how I'm everything he's looking for, like all that stuff. So seriously, he's just so amazing. He's so kind, and he's like so my type, like I love this man. I kid you not. I found him recently that the way we met, it just like in my gut, it felt like this was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like it just like worked out so like perfectly. He's so great. Maybe someday you guys will meet him on camera. He's not very into like the whole social media thing. He doesn't have social media. So it's really nice to have that break with somebody. Because I told him, I was just like, hey, just let you know, I'm technically an influencer. Like, I don't have like a big following. It's pretty small, but it's there. And he's like, I don't know what that is. So I explained it to him, and he's like, okay, I'll just more like be a background character. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It's just like, this is my forever person.